next guests are the #1 women's curling team in the world, right? And represent Canada on the Olympic stage.
Well, they are all here to talk about their curling experience and also to show us how to play the game. So please don't go anywhere because that's going to be fun. Please welcome to the social. We've got Rachel Homan, Tracy Fleury, Emma Miskew, and Sarah Wilkes. Team Homan!
Okay, first of all, let us just say it is an honor to have you ladies here. Thank you so much for joining us. But I have a very silly question right off the bat. Okay, so I watch curling and you guys are not wearing skates, but you're on ice. So how do you not slip on the ice?
It's a great question.
Okay, good.
It happens sometimes. Okay. Yeah, I do it probably twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so how do you not slip on the ice?
we do have special shoes and they're like grippy on the bottom, so it makes it easier to walk on the ice. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we have that answered. That's
Yes.
that's a great one to start with.
Question, but I had to ask.
So Emma, we caught a video where you describe superstitions before a game. Why don't we first take a look?
I'm definitely getting a little bit superstitious about what colors on my nails for what games. So I had to get my nails painted before our game started that afternoon. Now on the way to the game, and unfortunately due to superstitions, again, our camera lady cannot hop into the car with us, so she will have to meet us at the arena.
Okay, so tell us about the superstitions, how they originated, and clearly they work. This is science, right?
We think so. It's definitely a comfort thing. I think all athletes have some sort of superstitions. I think it's just comfortable. Like we know going into an event, like we can't control very much, but we can control where we sit in the car. So we do that. We have our playlist. The songs have to be the same, pre and post game. And going to Worlds last year, 2 years ago in Sydney, going into the parking lot, the first day we got there for our first game, Sarah had to get out of the car and move a pylon out of the way in order so that we could park. And then every game after that, we had to do the same thing. She had to get out of the car and move a pylon so we could park every single game.
Come on.
I had to keep the door open though. One time I shut it and we lost, and that was a whole
And it was a whole thing.
Yeah, so I kept it open.
So your key to winning Worlds, the World Championships, was a pylon.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Just
that
for clarification.
Yeah,
It's the moving of the pylon.
Okay.
exactly. The whole process.
Okay, all right.
All right, let's talk about something that's actually really impressive. You guys say curling is one of the few sports where gender is equal. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, we're really fortunate in curling to have equal prize money amongst the men and the women. So our tour events and our national championship, and also our attendance and TV viewership are comparable as well. And this past season, we had the opportunity to play a Battle of the Sexes game against the top men's team in the world. So that made a really fun charity event.
That's awesome. What do you think it is about curling that resonates with fans and athletes so much?
I think curling is a sport that just has everything. It has strategy, it has athleticism, precision, great teamwork, and it also has athletes that are really down to earth and relatable, and that really resonates with people.
Absolutely.
You know, speaking of equal opportunity for women, 3 out of the 4 members of the team are moms, 2 young kids. Rachel, you actually returned to the sport only weeks after giving birth.
Wow.
And some people will say, you know what, motherhood, maybe this is a competitive, look how it's a competitive disadvantage, but what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think it presents a lot of challenges, a lot of sacrifices, and we've had an incredible, record-breaking last 2 seasons for the last 2 years, and on the podcast, they asked me, what's been different? Why have you been able to perform at such a high level? And I said, well, I haven't been pregnant for 2 years, so that's helpful. But I played 8 months pregnant and had to get treated after every single game.
Wow.
And, just to try and come back and still compete at that same level, you're not able to train the way you would want to for maybe 6 to 8 months. So that takes a toll. And then trying to perform at that level, comes with sacrifices and injuries and things like that. So it's definitely a challenge, but thankfully we have a huge support, at home, and the team is a huge support, and we kind of lean on each other to try and get through those times.
Look at all the babies.
Oh, I will say this has got to be one of the secret weapons to success. Like, come on. Okay, well, we can't have the best curlers in the world and not put us through our paces. But first, why don't we head to the center and see how the pros do the curling and take us through how we do this. So why don't we start with equipment? Okay, what's the stuff in curling called?
Yes.
We've got rocks here that we throw at houses.
And that's the house?
Yeah, we call it house or rings.
Yeah, we've got the middle circle there, that's called the button. That is how we score. So the closest to the button, however many rocks are close to that button, score points. But you can remove the other team's rocks. You can hit them out. So that's where at the end of all the rocks, whoever's closest to that button scores.
Okay, and what do you have in your hand there?
This is a broom. This helps rocks go straighter and farther.
Okay, we love it. Okay.
All right, so give us an example, because we're going to try it out, but first we want to see you guys do it, see how the pros do it.
It's a little different because we're not on ice.
Okay. Yes,
so you're not
right.
going to fall.
Right.
Okay.
In your heels. So Tracy's giving me a target to aim at. So in curling, you either rotate it clockwise or counterclockwise, because in curling, there are no kind of straight lines. The rocks curl to the target.
And that's
Hence
where the
curling.
That's why it's called curling.
I had no idea. What? I know, all this time. Okay, so how do we do it? How do we do it?
Okay, so I'd be aiming at Tracy's target, and then I would rotate the rock towards where I want it to go.
Okay.
In the end, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
that's good.
Not bad.
I have one more question though. I always hear hurry hard. Why are they saying that? What does that mean?
So Emma's going to sweep the next one.
Okay.
And hurry hard is like a cue for the sweepers to know when to sweep.
Okay.
Because sweeping makes it go straighter and further.
Okay.
But as sweepers, we can't see the line.
Okay.
So Tracy or Rachel will yell that at us.
All right, let's hurry
Now
hard.
now it's
Let's
time
go.
for us to try it.
No,
Okay.
yeah,
you
throw
trying?
yours quickly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Okay.
All right, now.
Okay, we got to do this.
We
You
gotta
ready?
try- you're
okay,
up,
we
you're
don't
up
have a lot
first.
of time, but I feel
Oh,
confident.
I have to sweep. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Now,
I'm ready.
I feel like.
Ready.
Okay, I'm gonna try to push theirs out of the way and then get into the button.
Do it. I
ready?
got you. I'm gonna hurry hard. Hurry hard! Nice. Okay.
Okay, Andrea, you go. Okay, you go. Do I try? Do I try?
Yeah, okay, so wait. I don't know if this is a proper stance.
I don't know what I did. I don't know if I helped you or not. Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Go.
Nice.
Did we do something?
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
One more.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
This is not how curling works, but we're gonna try
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna stick to my left. All right,
here we go.
this is my curling stance.
Yes.
Stay.
Good one. Good job.
You know.
Just a little practice. A little practice.
I mean, I don't know how the math works, but I think we did okay.
You did it.
We did good. We did good.
You won.
Okay, Team Homan, what an honor to play with you. Thank you for being here. Congratulations. What a treat. Now, you can be the smartest one at the party. Now you know what curling means, okay?
Yes.
Interest in women's sports in 2024 is at an all-time high. More people watch the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship than the men's. For the first time in history, that's true. For the first time in history, the Olympic Games in Paris had a 50-50 gender split between athletes. And according to accounting firm Deloitte, annual revenue generated by elite women's sports is projected to surpass $1 billion US this year. Nice. Now, we could go on and on and on, but instead, I'm just going to say we could not be happier about this momentum, and we want to keep it going, so we are starting a brand new series today on the social to promote and celebrate women's sports.
Fantastic. And our first guest is two-time Olympian, 20-time national team member, and currently holds the record as the fastest female marathoner in the country. This weekend, I know. This weekend, she's going to toe the line at the Canadian Marathon Championships. Please welcome pro distance runner, Natasha Wodak.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
You have a big race this weekend. How are you feeling getting ready for this?
I do. I'm very excited to be here. Toronto's one of my favorite cities. It feels really good to be racing a marathon in Canada on home soil.
All right, well, you have your race this weekend, but talk to us. Take us back to the beginning. How did you even start running?
I have been running since I was a little girl. My dad took me for my first road race when I was maybe in grade 5. And I just continued running. After that, I played soccer and basketball. They always called me, the fast girl, and earned myself a scholarship to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
Nice.
Wasn't a huge fan of going to school there. I came home and ran at Simon Fraser University. I actually quit running for 3 years after that. And then I decided I had unfinished business came back into the sport, and made my first national team actually when I was 28 years old.
Wow.
That's awesome.
You became known across the track world because of your specialty in the 10,000 meter distance. I don't know how many times that is around the track, but it is a lot. But something
25.
really, really special. How many?
25 laps.
25 times, okay. Something really special though happened in 2020 and it put you on the map as a Canadian marathoner. Can you tell the audience what happened in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, we all know COVID, right? So everything was canceled. My goal had been to go to the Olympics in the 10,000 in 2020. And there was no races happening in Canada, but there was a race happening in Arizona in December of 2020, and it was a marathon. And I thought, why not give it a go? This is happening, I wanna give it a go. So I went and I ran the Olympic standard there. I ran 2:26:12, I think, which was the second fastest time in Canadian history. I surprised myself, I surprised a lot of people. And yeah, made the Olympic team, so it was well worth the 2-week quarantine I had to do when I got home.
That's awesome. Now, listen, most athletes can only dream of going to the Olympics, and you've been twice, right? The first time you went to Rio in 2016, that was for the 10,000 meter, which we now is 25 times around the track. And then again in Tokyo in 2021 for the marathon. Talk to us about that feeling when you're at the line about to start that race. What's going through your mind? How fast is your heart racing?
Oh, it's hard to explain because you feel like you're either going to throw up or burst into tears. And I was actually standing on the start line in Rio, and I said that to Dominique Scott, who was from South Africa. I said that exactly, and she said, "It's very emotional, isn't it?" Yeah. That's my South African accent. And it really was super emotional, very nerve-wracking. For my first one, I felt that way. But in Tokyo, my second time around, I felt much more in control. I was racing with 2 teammates who were my friends. They were on the start line with me, Melindy Elmore and Dana Peterowski, and it was just, I was much more relaxed, much more confident, like just a different runner being there. But one thing you always feel is just grateful to be there. It is a huge privilege to be competing at the Olympics and representing our great country of Canada.
Yeah, amazing. Let's stick with the Olympics, because even though you held the national record in the marathon, you still had to actually qualify for the Paris Olympics. So how did that whole thing play out?
Yeah, a little bit heartbreaking that unfortunately I didn't make the team for Paris. I ran 2:23:12 in September, and the window for Olympic qualification opened 6 weeks after that. And the standard was 2:26:50, and I ran 2:23:12. So, you know, most people would think, oh, in the next 18 months, no problem, she can go out and run that standard. She's done it before. And I didn't. The marathon is a beast. Things didn't line up for me. I ran a really hot race. I got sick, I couldn't run. I strained my hamstring. There was just a number of unfortunate things that happened. And so I didn't get to go to Paris. And it makes me feel that much more grateful for the Olympics that I did go to, because here I was, the best athlete I've ever been, and I didn't get to go. So there is a lot of luck and timing and all these things involved, but everything happens for a reason, and if I'd gone to Paris, I wouldn't be competing this weekend, so I'm very excited to be here.
Right. Silver lining. All right, so you've been competing at the top for a very long time. What do you attribute your longevity to?
Yeah, I'm 42, and I have been...
Yes, girl. Yes, girl.
So, number one is having the right people in your corner, having incredibly supportive friends and family and partners, coaches that know how to coach you properly, and being healthy and fueling myself properly. In this sport, there is a lot of RED-S, relative energy deficient syndrome, eating disorders, things like that. I am fortunate that I have been healthy. I've had the right people in my corner keeping me healthy. And that's why I've had this longevity. Why I'm here 25 years into my career is I have stayed healthy. So to young women watching, just remember, fuel yourselves, eat properly, and you can have a long career.
That's fantastic. All right. Yeah. So you obviously spend a lot of time training, and you're also a coach, but what do you like to do outside of running?
Wine tasting. I love a nice glass. Hey, I love...
Cue the photo.
I love to just relax. I volunteer at a cat shelter back home. Actually, every Friday, I'm missing that today. So I love hanging out with the kitties, but really just chilling. Oh, my boys.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Well, Natasha, we want to say good luck this weekend. Good luck. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
so,
me.
so much.
Our next guest is an all-star on and off the ice. She was the 4th overall pick in the National Women's Hockey League 2020 draft and has just been named to the Forbes 30 under 30 list for her work in the game of hockey.
That is hot. She is undoubtedly a trailblazer, and we are so excited to have her back in studio with us as part of our Spotlight on Women's Sports series. Please welcome back to the show sports analyst and manager of diversity, equity, and inclusion for the PWHL, Saroya Tinker's here. Saroya, welcome back.
Thank you.
If viewers recall, the last time that you were here, you had just secured the Isabel Cup with the Toronto Six, which was huge. That's the first Canadian team to ever do that. You decided to retire shortly after that historic win, so we got to know why.
Yeah, well, honestly, I felt so great about the win. I had Angela James as my GM at the time, and I think every athlete needs to know when it's their time to pivot, regardless of whether they can continue to play or not. And that was the case for me. I knew it was time to pivot, and we pivoted right into the right spot, I think.
Yeah, and you pivoted into broadcasting. This is something we've seen a lot of athletes do in the past, and not all of them have been successful. I think about someone like Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, not as good as a broadcaster.
Yes.
You're really good at it, but I'm curious, were there any challenges along the way?
Well, thank you for one, but most definitely dealing with the nerves. I get so nervous. January 1 for that first panel, I threw up before we got on camera.
Come on, no.
No doubt. So if you guys got any tips on anxiety, I'm here for it.
Do you have any pregame routines or anything?
I try to keep it the same as when I was playing, to be honest. You know, like get ready, get pretty, and look good, feel good, play good, or perform well. So
Good for you. And it just takes time. You're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. So just last year, the PWHL, they actually named you as the manager for diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know that hockey is a sport that means a lot for a lot of people in this country, but it's not always equally accessible to everybody in the same way. So what are you doing in this role to try to make it more inclusive and bring people into the hockey community that maybe historically have not felt welcome into the hockey community?
Yeah, well, I think I was given the role partially with my role with Black Girl Hockey Club as executive director, but making the sport accessible for everybody is a hard challenge. I mean, their equipment is so expensive. Obviously, women want to be in there, they want to play hockey. So in that sense, we're building out our social responsibility pillars with the PWHL right now. And I think that that's been the most beautiful part, is that we're a startup, as tough as that is. We get to build things how we want. There's no old traditions like the NHL. So we're able to push down those barriers and break down those boundaries. So that's exactly what we're looking to do. And I'm excited to announce our social responsibility pillars quite soon.
That's great. That's great.
Well, you mentioned the Black Girl Hockey Club Canada, and you're the executive director of it, as you said. And I understand, like, you're so hands-on that you just got back from a road trip with some of these girls. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I think in terms of mentorship, people often ask me, like, is there a book I give the girls, or is there books that I give them to read? But no, it's really just me being a normal human and being a big sister to them. So specifically on the road trip, we took 15 girls out to Montreal and Ottawa to watch their Black History Month PWHL games. And we stayed in a big Airbnb. It was like a big sleepover. The girls had a lot of fun. I said curfew's at 2 a.m., so they were all happy about that. And then I just woke up in the morning, made them pancakes and bacon, and then we hit the road to get back. And we're going to Detroit on another road trip this weekend. So it's super exciting and fun.
I'm just curious, listen, what ages of girls are you trying to do this outreach to? What's the response from parents?
Yeah.
How are you getting over this big barrier?
Yeah, I think we definitely have a wide range of age groups. For the road trip specifically, it's that 13 to 17 area. And I know from myself in hockey, like I was just doing things, team building, that just wasn't fun for me. These girls get together and you see them completely be themselves, and it's so fun. But that teenage age gap is definitely where we see the challenges and them dropping out of sport and wondering if they want to play hockey and all that.
Yeah, can we talk money a little bit? We know that it's really cost prohibitive.
Yes.
Equipment's expensive. Getting ice time is expensive. How do you get over that hump?
Yeah, I mean, well, with Black Girl Hockey Club, we give scholarships once a year, and then we have a rolling financial aid and equipment base that we can give girls up to $1,000 worth of equipment. And I would say it costs about $1,000 to outfit someone fully in hockey equipment, and that's your 6-year-old. Then they're going to be 7, then they're going to be 8, and you need new equipment. So it's a tough space to be in for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and also congrats to you, because I've been to a PWHL game, and the diversity of that crowd, both racially, in terms of old and young, like, congratulations, because you can tell that it is something different.
Yeah.
So big congrats to you and the team.
That's so great. Can we talk about fighting on the ice a little bit?
Of course.
Listen, we know that the men's game, that's like it's built into the very fabric of the men's hockey game. It is drop the gloves, let's go. Crowd goes wild.
Elbows up.
Elbows up.
Yeah.
Elbows up. But we know there are restrictions in the women's game.
Yes.
But just a few weeks ago, the first fight in the PWHL happened.
It happened.
Oh, yeah.
It happened. This was the women's game.
I was so excited.
You were excited.
Yes, me too.
Okay, what's your take on this? What's the role of physicality and even fighting in the women's game?
Well, I've got to say, I played with Teresa Venisheva on the Toronto Six on that championship team, and she's the last person on my team that I would expect to get into a fight. So somebody must have really bothered her. But at the same time, I was a big, hard-hitting defenseman that definitely took a lot of penalties, and I probably would have thrown a few fists if I was allowed to. So I'm here for it, if we're being honest.
So if you were back out there now, you might be doing this.
I would definitely be doing it.
Listen, I was struck by something that I wanted to ask you about, which is the U.S. women's national team coach, soccer coach in the U.S., Emma Hayes. She recently said that everything about soccer has been centered through a male lens. So the size of the field, rehab, analytics, and she's even going so far as to suggest that there should be coaching clinics for women's soccer in particular. As someone who works in the game of hockey, are there ways that you would like to see the sport better serve women in particular?
Yeah, for sure. I think we've seen it a little bit in current hockey companies in CCM and Sherwood. They have their For the Women's line. Sherwood obviously has their Sherwood Women's Design as well. And women's equipment being fitted. I mean, a chest protector. I mean, we need extra chest protection if I'm going to slide down and block that puck. So we have women's specific equipment being made now. And I think that's been the biggest change. But if you're a professional athlete, you want to be treated as a professional athlete. So male or female.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Women need equipment that makes sense for women.
Yeah.
Sounds so obvious, right?
Yeah.
Saroya, you're helping break down all of these barriers, and so we cannot thank you enough. What the next generation gets because of you, what a gift. So thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are continuing our Spotlight on Women's Sports series with a look at the WNBA's first international expansion team. History will be made right here in Canada next year when the Toronto Tempo joins the league.
And we're thrilled to be joined today by the woman building the organization from the ground up. Please welcome the president of the Toronto Tempo, Teresa Resch.
To be here. This is huge. I know we're at the beginning of 2025, but 2024 in women's sports was massive with a capital M. Huge story, at least in the WNBA and in women's basketball, of course, was the encore rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Oof. We were following it here on the show for sure. And it seemed like their fame was actually transcending basketball in this amazing way. We know that Caitlin, she was recently named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. Angel, that is her current Vogue cover right now. Crazy. So how has their stardom helped to really propel the WNBA to be front page news?
Yeah, like what we like to say is this is no longer a moment, this is a movement. Get on board, right?
Yeah.
And Angel and Caitlin, like you said, it transcended sport. So what happened is this incredible game. The WNBA was in its 28th season. The competition level had always been high, but what happened is it got all these new eyeballs because of that rivalry, and it was incredible. So all these people were learning new names, you know. Asia Wilson, the MVP last year, was incredible. There was so many great players that had played in this league for so long. Being able to take that rivalry from college into the pros, and they also balled. They weren't just cover girls, they were incredible basketball players, and they showed it on the court, which was incredible to see. So we look forward to taking that momentum and launching the Tempo in 2026. It's gonna be incredible.
That's fantastic. Such exciting news. We got to bring up something that's still a little bit of an issue, and that's the wage gap. As we all know, Caitlin Clark was a first-round pick draft in the WNBA, and her base salary, is $76,535, which sounds pretty good until you hear that the NBA's first-round draft pick was making $12.6 million. Bit of a gap there. So what can we do? Can you explain that wage gap, and what can we do to decrease it?
Yeah, it is obviously a big gap, but what's incredible is the opportunity for women to catch up is there. So if you think about it, like I said, the W 28 years, the NBA is, I think, in their 78th season this year. So we're 50 years behind in the growth. But what we also need is just investment, right? So the reason why players get paid more is because of more dollars. So every dollar that you spend, every minute that you spend watching games, buying merchandise, supporting partners of the team, that's what makes it grow. So the WNBA was part of the new record-setting media deal, so we'll have an influx of cash that way. We look for all of our partners. We just launched a founding partner last week. We'll have more partners. Those businesses are investing in us, and they're investing in our players. And then our fans show up, go to a game, buy the merch. Your dollars speak volumes. And that's really how we close the pay gap. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like, we're not gonna, that gap is not gonna, we're not gonna pay the first pick in the draft $12 million next year, because that would also bankrupt the teams. Like, it has to be gradual. It has to be on a trajectory that is gonna be consistent and is gonna make sure that this league doesn't go away. Because that's also been a problem in women's sports, is you start a league and it doesn't really take traction, the financial model isn't there. But what's incredible is it's changing because people are investing in this in a way that is really, really meaningful. It used to be that men's sports were really invested on based upon potential, and women's sports, you had to prove it. But that model is changing. And our owner, Larry Tenenbaum, invested in this because he saw potential. And it's incredible to see that change.
Can we talk about the name for a second?
Yeah, we should talk about
We should talk about the name.
Yes, we should.
And I know that you all went out to the public and you really asked for public and fan input in naming the Toronto expansion team. So how did you land on Tempo, and what does it even mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great story. So we knew that the story of the team's name was going to live on with the team name forever. And we wanted to make sure that that story was one of all Canadians and not a group of people in a room. So we did nameyourteam.com or .ca. We got over 10,000 submissions of names, inspirations, and ultimately Tempo was submitted multiple times. And it really rose to the top for a lot of different reasons. But what I love about it most is that it actually talks about the game of basketball. Rarely do you have a logo or a slogan that actually talks about the game being played. We love that Tempo is about, it's not about being fast or slow, but it's about controlling the game and controlling that tempo. So it really rose to the top. I mean, it sounds pretty good. Toronto Tempo, the TT, the alliteration is great. So it rose to the top, and we're really excited. We launched it on December 5th, introduced it to the world, and so far, it's been pretty good. I like it. I mean, I'm getting used to still saying it because I had to keep it a secret for so long. So now it's like I can say it out loud. It sounds great. Rolls off the tongue. Toronto Tempo. Love it.
Okay. So now we know all the work that went behind creating this name. So what's the reaction been like?
Oh, it's been great. Like, you know, not everybody loves it. If everybody loved it, we also probably did something wrong. But what's been incredible is people they care so much. They're engaged. They give us a lot of feedback. Excited about the colors. I mean, we did a great little podcast because we wanted the whole process to be really transparent.
Love that.
So it's called Bringing Home the W, and every episode kind of talks about each step. And one of them was actually called On the Cutting Room Floor. And we talked about those names that didn't make the cut, that people had submitted but weren't going to work. Like our most submitted team name was actually the Raptors.
Yeah, okay.
We're not going to name our team the Raptors.
Okay.
It's been trademarked.
Yeah. So today is actually a very exciting day. Tell us about that.
Well, today is the very first day that you can actually purchase merchandise to represent the Toronto Tempo.
Yes.
Well, we have some models here in our studio.
Great, a lot of swag there.
We love that.
What's incredible is this is our first ever collection, and we have a lot of great licensees who are both Canadian and also female-led. So obviously this is just the merch, but we have a wide variety, a lot of different products, different price points. I love it. Great job. This is
when is it available?
It's available now. It's on shop.torontotempo.com.
Okay.
And it's also available in stores, Sport Check, as well as Makeway, as well as our website, shop.torontotempo.com.
Well, Teresa, thank you for being here. Good luck. I know you got a big journey ahead of you, but thank you so much. Thank you for being here. All right, Toronto Tempo merch, you just heard it. It drops today, so make sure to check it out. But studio audience, I want you to just hone in on Kwame's hat. Isn't it the best baseball cap you've ever seen? Well, guess what? Audience, you're going home with that merch today. Yes.
Our next guest is the designer of the inaugural Professional Women's Hockey League Championship ring. And by the way, she is Canadian from Edmonton. That's right.
Her name is Chow Lee, and she is here to talk about how she designed this monumental ring and what it means for women's sports. Please welcome again, all the way from Edmonton, Chow Lee. Welcome.
Good to have you here.
This is a super, super huge moment. You just designed, it's here on the table and it's gorgeous, the first championship ring for the Professional Women's Hockey League. What does designing this ring and did designing this specific ring mean to you?
Oh, it meant everything. As an immigrant, as a woman, as a mom of 2 young girls, and a business owner with a 90% female workforce, it truly just meant everything to us. And honestly, if you would have told my 20-year-old self that I'd be designing the first ever championship ring, I don't think I would have believed you.
Wow. All right, so how did, I know that's fantastic, right? So how did this whole partnership come to be?
Okay, so obviously we love hockey, and I have 2 daughters, 13 and 10, they both play hockey, so really, really love the sport. And we had the opportunity to work with Emerence Mashmeyer. She is the goalie for Ottawa for our Paris Jewelers 2022 holiday campaign. Absolutely incredible role model, and that's how the connection was made. And when the PWHL launched, we really loved what they were doing, the impact they were making, and our values really aligned. So our teams got on a call, and it was fantastic. And what happened was they said that they would love for us to design the championship ring.
Oh, I love how that comes together. This is really, really gorgeous. I think we have been dying to touch it.
I know, I've been
try
holding
it.
myself back the whole time.
There she is. You are going to take us through your design process because I'm sure it was all very intentional and deliberate what you did here.
Right? I got the okay to grab it.
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
did.
look
We
at
did.
that.
We did. Okay, so take us through the elements of this.
Okay, so everything in this ring was so intentional, and I love it so much.
I'm listening, I promise.
So at the center of the design is the Walter Cup. That is a trophy for the PWHL.
Right.
We have amethyst on there that encircle the Walter Cup, and there's diamonds in the entire ring.
Oh, wow. So why amethyst? Is there a specific reason why you chose that one?
So amethyst, it's a purple color. That is the color of the Minnesota Frost team. And also amethyst is a gemstone that is really said to be the stone of evolution, strength, and resilience, which really signifies the journey of Minnesota to get to the championship.
Wow.
She's gorgeous. So I'm looking, and there's a lot of diamonds on here. So what is the significance of the number of gemstones and diamonds and amethysts that you've used?
Yeah, so 18 amethysts represent the 18 games won in the season, and then there's 74 diamonds around the ring they represent every single goal scored by the players during the season.
Wow, very cool.
This ring is so gorgeous. So walk us through the whole design process.
Yeah, so you know what? When we first started, what we did was, after they won, we got on a call with the team and really we call it a discovery call. And we wanted to learn everything about the season, significant moments, really align with what meant a lot to them. We did not talk about jewelry design, just wanted to learn about them. And then after that process, I really had to sit with it and just really think about how to make everything that meant something to them during the season come to life in a piece of jewelry.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. All right, so the process obviously is important, but how long does it take to create one of these rings?
Yeah, it took about 4 to 6 months from the inception of the first conversation to the design, and really there's a lot of hidden details. Win one game was something that meant a lot to the team. Okay. So we inscribed it on the inside. So every time they would wear the ring, they would remember that moment.
Wow. Wow.
So you have designed engagement and wedding rings for a ton of celebrities. Wow. So I see Derek Huff there. There's amazing people there. Atlanta Condor, Lewis Howes. What actually got you into the jewelry business?
Yeah. So it is a family business. So my mom immigrated from Vietnam to Canada when I was at a very young age. I was 2.5, and my sister was 6 months, and she just wanted to come to Canada for a better life for our family. And when she first came to Canada, she got to train as a goldsmith, became really good at it, opened her very first store in 1987. And when she opened, she didn't know how to speak English. So she bought a Vietnamese English dictionary. Every time a customer would come in, she would pull out the dictionary. That's how she'd communicate with customers.
Wow.
So we grew up seeing that, and we hold that very close. And now my sister and I run the business, and we have 22 stores in 4 provinces across Canada.
Wow.
And we have our 23rd location opening in Calgary.
That's huge. What a fantastic story. So I understand that the Minnesota Frost just won the PHL championship for a 2nd time in a row.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about this next championship ring?
Oh, I'm so excited. Just chatting a little bit with the team yesterday, and I'm excited to get started. And imagine how special it's going to be able to do back-to-back championship rings.
Ooh-wee. I just love this Canadian angle to this huge story. And Chow, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
can't wait to see what you do.
Thank you.
And thank you for the ring.
Okay, love it.
Just gonna put that in my pocket.
Our next guest describes herself as a professional drama queen. She's known for her incredible skills and big persona. Chelsea Green is taking the wrestling world by storm.
We're thrilled to be joined by the Canadian making history as the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green.
Okay, I'm so excited for this. I've been a lifelong wrestling fan, so you are a huge fan favorite. Let's just start with that.
Thank
and people
you.
love your toughness in the ring as well. You big dives into tables. You are full on. We want to know your wrestling persona. Who is Chelsea Green?
Okay, I have 2 different answers because if you ask me, I would say I am completely different in the ring than I am in person. But if you ask my mom and my dad, they would say those 2 people are one and the same. Like,
oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am a tad dramatic in real life, but I'm very dramatic in the ring.
So it's just you dialed up, maybe.
It's just me dialed up, and that's really what makes the WWE characters so believable, is that that's what we usually go for. We just crank it up to 10.
Crank it up to 10.
Speaking of cranking it up to 10, can we just talk about the bling that you brought with you today? As we mentioned, you are the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion. Why was the creation of that title so important to you?
Oh my gosh, for so many different reasons. I mean, we've just been watching women in sport succeed. They've been thriving, especially in 2024, 2025. We're watching the WNBA pop off. We're watching the women's soccer teams do well. We're filling stadiums, you know?
Yeah.
So this was just another way to prove that we are equal to the men, you know? We've got our tag team championships, we've got intercontinental championships, we've got the United States Championship, we have Royal Rumble now with women in it.
Yeah,
we have
huge.
Elimination Chamber with women in it. We are main eventing WrestleMania. So we are equal, we can do it. And this is just a tangible piece of evidence.
Yes, yes. Chelsea, I want to get serious for a second. Because you were recently wedgied in the ring. After the fact, you took to social media saying, I hereby ban the use of wedgies during professional wrestling matches. Any further use of said move can and will result in permanent banishment from my ring. I will not stand for this tyranny. So I'm wondering, is the wedgie actually illegal in the wrestling world?
Yeah, it's illegal because I banned it.
You bet.
What do you mean? You just read it right there.
Like, so before it was fair game, but you were using...
Yeah, it was fair game.
This is going to be your legacy.
I got wedgied on national television. Okay, I don't know if you know this, but in Canada, you can watch me on Netflix on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, any premium live event I could have got wedgied on. So I have banned it from all of Netflix.
Are you
You are doing the people's work.
Now, I'm sure a wedgie isn't the only bizarre experience you've had. I'm imagining your fans are beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, and also maybe some of them are intense. Have you ever had, what's your funniest, weirdest fan interaction?
How long do you have? I mean, this is what makes WWE special, is that we're kind of a variety show. We've got like comical aspects, we've got high flying, we've got theatrics and soap opera, we've got drama, we've got hard-hitting MMA stuff. We've got a little bit of everything. So when our fans sit in the audience, they will always find someone in that ring that they can relate to in one way or another. And I think that's what makes
them so unique and so passionate and a little crazy. So, like, I have people come up to me when I'm in my pajamas in the hallway trying to get a coffee at the hotel. I have them stop me at the airport, at Disney. But at the end of the day, isn't that what I signed up for?
Yeah.
And if I didn't have those crazy, passionate fans, I wouldn't be sitting here with you because nobody would care.
You're right. Yeah. Great point.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. So I would like to say, a lot of people didn't know this about me until maybe yesterday, but I revealed in the show that I, growing up, was a massive WWE wrestling fan. So my sister and I would actually wrestle with each other, elbow drop from the top ropes. And I was of the era of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. I watched that match live, right? Yeah. The Undertaker, the Canadian icon. Yes. Bret the Hitman Hart, R.I.P. So who did you look up to growing up in the wrestling world?
I mean, I think it would be crazy if I said anyone other than Trish Stratus.
Oh! Right? She's our girl!
She's a Canadian queen. She is the moment, the legendary Trish Stratus. And now it's 2025 and I am working alongside Trish Stratus. Like, it just is so crazy to me. Tonight, we've got SmackDown at Scotiabank. Tomorrow, we've got Elimination Chamber at Rogers Centre, and it is crazy to think that I could be staring Trish Stratus in the eyes tonight or tomorrow. Oh, like, what is life? What a full circle moment.
Yeah. That's magic.
20 years later.
Yeah, that's goosebumps.
Wow.
That's goosebumps, Harry.
Yeah.
Now, Chelsea, before holding your current title, you were the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion.
Two-time.
Two-time?
Two-time, baby.
Record.
Two-time.
Now, if you could bring in any celebrity into the wrestling world as your tag team partner, who would it be? Anyone.
Okay, so you could ask me every year and this may change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Depending on who I love this year. But in 2025, it definitely would be the one and only Vanessa Hudgens.
Really?
Oh!
Really?
Vanessa, people don't know this, but Vanessa is a die-hard wrestling fan.
Did not know this.
Oh my goodness.
She comes to shows. There we go.
Oh my God, we've got B-roll of this. Look at this.
She comes to shows, she participates, she gets in the ring, she does the chants, she comes backstage, she hangs out with us. She is just like such a sweet human being. And I do feel like she's got a little spice, she's got a little pizzazz to her. I think we would make a good tag team.
Oh my gosh.
Put it out in the universe.
And she's half Filipino like me, just saying.
Oh, okay, we love that.
Oh my goodness. So you are back home in Canada for tomorrow night's Elimination Chamber. Tell us about the big event.
Okay, so Elimination Chamber is one of the most intimidating matches that you can have. It is a steel cage set around a wrestling ring with 4 pods in each corner. A woman in each pod or a man in each pod, depending what match it is.
Okay.
We have 2 women start, and then every 3 to 5 minutes, another woman will leave the pod, enter the ring, and it's basically last man, last woman standing.
Wow.
Right. The exciting thing about Elimination Chamber is that this, on Saturday at Rogers Centre, is going to be the kickoff to the road to WrestleMania. So it's very special because whoever wins this match is able to challenge one of the champions and will go on to wrestle on April 19th or 20th in Las Vegas at WrestleMania. It's very, very exciting. And of course, this Elimination Chamber is extra exciting because we've got the one and only John Cena here.
No!
Yeah.
No
And we love John Cena, okay? Big John Cena fan. We love John Cena, and his wife is Canadian. So
Yes.
You know.
Oh my God, I think we're all going, guys. I think we're all going. Chelsea, this is so exciting. Welcome home, and thank you for stopping by and visiting us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Wow.
Our next guest is a titan of women's soccer. As captain of England's national team, she made over 100 appearances in international games, including the 2012 Olympics.
Now, when her playing days were over, she became the inaugural head coach of the Manchester United women's team, the NWSL San Diego Wave, and in January, the Canadian women's national team. Please welcome to the show, Casey Stoney!
We're pretty excited. As you can see at home, and you can see this is not how we normally conduct interviews, if you can believe it, but we wanted to make you feel at home because you're almost always sitting on a cooler when you're on the sidelines. That's incredible. So why do you do this?
Number one, I want to be close to the pitch. Number two, I don't want to stand up for 90 minutes. And I can't take a chair. So this is a perfect excuse to sit down.
This is perfect. That'll make sense.
This is very, it's quite comfortable,
It is
actually.
very comfortable.
Yeah, it's really nice. Listen, a few months ago, Casey, you said that you wouldn't likely join a national team, and yet somehow Canada convinced you. So what led you to that decision?
Yeah, it was a big decision. Like I said, I wasn't really looking at international football, and it was the culture of the people, the humility of the group that I'd be working with, the talent of the group, and the potential to possibly go to 2027 and try and do something that we haven't done before and win a World Cup. And just to, I think, bring myself into a new country, new culture, embed myself into something new and a new challenge. And to be honest, I'm big on integrity, and I felt like the team needed me at this time.
Yeah. Can we talk about Jesse Marsh for a second? He's the captain of the national men's Canadian team.
Yeah.
And he said that one day the men's team and the women's team would work together, and you were impressed by that. But I'm curious, how would that look? How would that look?
Well, I think Jesse was one of the reasons I took the job.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a call with him before I decided to take the job. And it's not necessarily the men's and women's team playing against each other. It's working in alignment on infrastructure, resources, sharing best practice. I've actually been on a camp in the men's team with Jesse, and that's like unheard of. That hasn't happened across the game before. So just being aligned on what we want to do, our vision, our strategy, and making sure that both pathways, men's and women's, from youth to senior, are aligned.
That's
Ooh,
incredible.
I like that. Okay, you just mentioned integrity really quickly,
Yeah.
and you've spoken about this before, but the former women's national team coach, in case anybody remembers this in the news, was actually let go on the heels of the drone cheating scandal that went down at the Olympics. We may remember that. And you said that gaining trust with players, this is one of your first priorities. So how are you trying to regain the players' trust?
I think it's about people. It's about building relationships. It's about getting to know the players, them getting to know me, creating a safe space. I'm not Canadian, very apparent. It's their team. You know, representing your country is the pinnacle of your career. It's an honour. So being able to create an environment that's safe for them, me being authentically me, you know, and making mistakes, and we're going to make mistakes together, and the players knowing that that's okay, but setting a very clear vision of what we want to achieve and how we're going to get there and how we're going to do it collectively.
I love that. As you know, we're living in a time where women can be paid to play soccer, which is very exciting. And according to the New York Times, some women are choosing to skip college and degrees in order to go pro. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I come from an era where we didn't get paid.
Right.
I always worked, I always had a job, and I feel really lucky to have done that. I actually think we should be doing both. I think education's so important. I think we can't play forever. We're only one injury away from having to get a job, and when we retire, we don't earn enough money in the professional game, in the women's sports, generally, that you don't have to work again. So I think having an education is really important.
I like that answer.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. We debated that actually on the show, if you remember. So the Northern Super League, which is Canada's domestic professional league, it just kicked off this past April, and players have said that they hope that this league will give them a shot at the national team. So as the coach, do you think that is a realistic goal?
Absolutely, doors always open. We've got 2 players from the league in our current squad. We're playing Costa Rica on Friday. So I think for us, we're looking at all leagues. We're looking at all Canadians. We're trying to widen the pool. We need a depth for talent. And this is now a league where young players can come and play consistently, and they don't have to move abroad. And that is really, really key.
It's huge.
It really is. Okay, so you've said that U.S. players, you say they have a play-to-win culture. I think we can understand that. We've probably seen a lot of that. And you said that was really distinct, though, from the U.K. Players who needed a little bit more motivation. So then, okay, Americans, the U.K. players. So what about Canadian players? How would you describe them?
I think there's definitely a play-to-win mentality, but there's a humility about them, a real humility. I think there's also a bit of like, let's stop apologising for like trying to win things. Let's make sure that we've got a mentality to compete and win. And I think I've been able to experience all cultures now, so I'm hoping that we can, bring that mentality into Canada. And they've won before. They've won Olympics. This is not new to this team, but it's about now trying to go to a World Cup and win.
We've heard you say that you don't allow for furry strawberries on your team. What is that?
So let me give you context. So when you go in the fridge and it's mouldy, right? So it gets a bit of fur on it.
Yeah,
so
like
it looks moldy.
the pint of strawberries.
You take that one out, right? So I relate that to like culture in my team environment and my characters. So if I have a person or a player in the environment that is a furry strawberry, maybe their behaviour's not befitting to the team, I'll have an intervention, I'll try and help them, I'll try and make sure that they're team first mentality. If they're not, then I need to kind of remove the furry strawberry, take them out of the environment, because you must protect your environment at all costs. And I think negativities can spread.
Yeah.
And so can positivity.
Right.
So I want positive people in there.
Okay, so let's talk about the strawberries without the fur. What kind of traits are you looking for in those berries?
Well, those berries, they need to be hardworking first and foremost. To get to the top's hard. To stay there's even harder. They need to have humility in terms of, we've all got egos, but we need to leave them at the door. And we need to have a team first mentality. As athletes, we're selflessly driven to get to where we want to get to. But once we step into a team environment, it has to be about the team first.
Can I play on your team? You're amazing.
Can you play soccer?
Yeah, I got a hamstring injury, so we'll talk about it next year.
Listen, there's some big names I want to ask you about. Christine Sinclair, Diana Matheson. We know they each carry massive legacies for Canadian soccer. So how do you balance their legacy of play with this game that is also always evolving?
Well, I played against both of them, and I know how important they were to the team, to the national team, to the country, and their legacy lives on because there's players in the environment now, the likes of Jessie Fleming, that carry that torch, that understand what it was, what they brought to the team, what they leave, and they pass that on to the younger players. And I think it's about us and myself making sure that environment stays as it was and that they are the fabric of everything that's happened before, because you don't get to where you get to now without the players before you, and it's about remembering that.
That's amazing. Casey, thank you so much for joining us today. Also, good luck this Friday.
Yes.
Thank you.
You said Costa Rica?
Yes.
All right, go Canada. Go Canada. All right, so our next guest is the first Canadian woman to win a NASCAR-sanctioned race. And that's not all. She is one of only 10 women on the circuit. So she just competed at the biggest and the baddest NASCAR track, the Talladega Superspeedway.
Sweet, all right, driving at speeds of over 300 kilometers per hour. She's now here to tell us all about her racing experience. Please welcome to the show, Amber Balkin. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now listen, when we talk about race car driving, we're always usually hearing about men. So I'm curious, how did you even get into the sport?
Yeah, so I'm a third-generation race car driver from Winnipeg. My dad and grandfather raced, but all dirt track. I grew up racing on dirt as a hobby, and I was winning a lot. And the NASCAR Diversity Program reached out to me and thought, hey, have you ever thought of NASCAR? And that just started my journey to NASCAR.
Nice.
Go figure that diversity works.
Yeah. Yes.
Funny how that works. Listen, there's one thing, and if there's anything I know about racing, you kind of start in the go-karts, you start small. So what does it actually take to ascend to the actual NASCAR level of racing?
So my first season in a NASCAR series was a regional level, and I had won Rookie of the Year, won a race, and did really well, and was able to move up. But I wasn't able to do that without funding. It costs millions of dollars to race, and so not only do you need to show your credibility and your talent on track, but you also need to raise millions of dollars to move up to that national level of where I'm at now.
Okay, well, okay, wait. You're talking about financing for this sport. So when you say you need millions, how much money have you had had to raise in your career so far?
So far I've raised about 6 to 7 million on my own. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. So since the age of 10, my dad said if you want to race, you have to get all the sponsorship yourself, work on the cars, raise the money. So I've really had to learn how to be a businesswoman before being a race car driver. So it's taken a ton of grit, determination, and it's been the most challenging part of my journey, but I'm also really grateful for it because I've built so many great business and leadership skills that I can use past racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what blows my mind about this is your story is amazing because you would think that the only thing you have to worry about and concentrate on is driving.
Yeah.
But now you're going, I'm driving, and I need to be out there hustling and making sure people get to see me and become the face of my own brand. So how did you actually raise that kind of money? How do you raise that?
And how many obstacles were there?
Yeah.
A lot of obstacles. I've heard thousands and thousands of no's, but it was really just about being resilient, learning, figuring out how to prove that return on investment to sponsors, and really just being the CEO of my own racing career.
Good for you. Good for you. So here's the thing that anybody knows about racing. It can be a really dangerous sport. And in fact, last year you had a crash, you broke your foot, and you were out then for the rest of the season. But how did you drive at all with a broken foot? And how did that work out?
Yeah, so I actually did race the whole season. Over half the season I raced with a broken foot. We put a carbon fiber insert into my boot to give me a little bit more stability. But yeah, I definitely still dealt with the pain during the race. There was heavy braking tracks. That's what hurt the most because they are standard. So we still use the clutch and the brake. And so my foot was in pain for pretty much half the year, but I didn't want to stop racing.
Okay, wait a minute. I know I'm not your doctor. I'm not your doctor, but what did your doctor say about that? Aren't you supposed to lay off of those injuries for a few weeks?
I did have to get NASCAR to clear me and go through the medical process, but with the carbon fiber insert in my boot, they gave me the A-OK. That was the thing I was most afraid of, is like, please just let me still race.
Okay. Which is so wild because you would think that the crash scared you, right?
No.
So is there anything about racing or even the crash that put a spook in you?
No, honestly, crashing doesn't scare me. Crashing is inevitable in racing. The only thing that scares me is the fear of failure. I feel I have a responsibility to show what women are capable of doing on the track. And when I'm not performing at my best or I'm making mistakes, I feel like I'm letting other women down. And that's honestly the only thing that really scares me.
Listen, you're never letting us down. We're so proud of you. It's such a huge thing of what you're doing. And speaking of that, I'm just curious because I know it's a male-dominated sport. So how do the men treat you?
Combination of positive and negative. I think I have respect from some drivers, not so much the others, but the main thing is I have respect from my team. My team is incredible. They believe in me. They have my back 100%. And when I put that helmet on, I believe that the car doesn't know gender, right? The car, it doesn't matter. But in the same respect, if I were to completely ignore the fact that I am a woman, it would mean denying the responsibility that I have to make a positive impact in this sport.
Good point.
Good for you.
Good stuff.
Okay. Let's talk about recently your race at Talladega Superspeedway. Talladega, if you're not first, you're last.
Yes.
Right?
It's been in my mind the whole time.
I watched that movie every night before I raced Talladega.
Right. But listen, first of all, this is such a great video. I could just watch this all day. It is known as the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR. So what was it like racing there?
Talladega is complete chaos, complete energetic mayhem. We are over 300 kilometers an hour, centimeters away from each other. You have people in front of you, around you, spotters in your ear talking, crew chiefs in your ear talking. There's just so much internal and external sensory going on that it is crazy, but that's what I live for. I love the rush. I love the adrenaline. I love the high speeds and just everything about it. And I'm very grateful that this is one of the few sports that men and women can compete at the same level. I'm racing against all men. So I'm really grateful that I even have the opportunity to be able to do this.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, so what's next on your journey?
Next is more races. I definitely want to keep racing. However, I am needing more sponsorship for the rest of the season. So if anyone would like to
pass the hat around.
That's
Anybody want to give a little something in the hat? We'll pass it around afterwards.
Yeah, be a part of this underdog story. You know, I am the only Canadian female currently in a national level, and I want to continue that.
Yeah, clap for that. That's amazing. That's amazing.
You're on social media. You're everywhere?
Yes, at Amber Balkan 10 on all my socials.
Listen, you're doing great things. I I wish that you could just focus on racing. So let's see if Canada can help you do just that. Thank you for representing.
Thank you. Thank you.